In this session, let's install the Linux operating system. So now let's open the VMware workstation and then click on I want to try VM workstation 10 for 30 days and enter your email ID. Click continue. It asks for permission. Click yes. Click finish. Close this and then maximize this. Okay, the VM software is opened. Now let's create the new virtual machine. Click create a new virtual machine. So here we will leave it as typical. Click next and here let's select the ISO file. This is the file which contains the Linux operating system. So browse and I have my software on desktop and the software folder, and this is the ISO file. I select that and click open. Okay, I selected the ISO file. Now I want to install this operating system later. So I select this button and click next. And here the operating system is Linux and the type of Linux is Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5 64-bit. I select that, click next. Here I give a name to my virtual machine. So I want to call it as Oracle database. Okay, and by default it is created in the documents folder, which I don't want to do. So I want to create on the C colon, so I take that out. So I want it to be created in C colon slash virtual machines slash Oracle database. I'll click next. Here let's give the disk size of 80 GB. Okay, 20 GB is too less, so let's make it 80 GB and we want that in a single file. So I'll select this option, click next, and here let's modify few things using customize hardware. Here let's click on the new CD DVD and here let's select the same ISO image file which we have selected previously. So this is the file. Click open and then click close. Okay, and then click finish here. So now all the necessary parameters for the virtual machine are configured. Now let's go and power on this virtual machine. So we click that and now this VMware is being loaded. Okay, click OK and here it is. I have pressed enter to start in graphical mode and the installation is started. So it's loading. You can skip it. Let's click next and then select English. Next, so US English if you are in US. Next. Here we are asking if any previous data is found, can we erase that? Click yes. Here it is asking us to partition our hard drive. We have totally allocated 80 GB, right? So it is asking us to partition the hard drive. So let's go here and let's create the custom layout and then click next. And here let's allocate space for each directory and create couple of disk. Okay, let's click new. Let's select the mount point as backslash and then let's allocate 3 gig. So that's 3000 MB and then let's make it a primary partition and click OK. So now let's click again new. Now let's mount point as boot and let's allocate 2 GB. Okay, and let's make this as the primary partition. Click OK, click new. Now select home. Let's allocate 7 GB and click OK, and let's create one more and let's select temp and then allocate 4 gig. Click OK, click new. Now let's select user and allocate 10 gig. So that's 10,000 MB. Click OK. Now let's click new. Select mount point as VAR and then let's allocate 7 gig. Click OK. New and let's select OPT and let's allocate 8 gig. Now again let's click new and here backslash U01 and then allocate 8 gig. Click OK. So now again click new and then in the file system type select swap. Let's allocate 8 gig. So still we have some free space. Okay. So now let's click new and create couple of more folders. Disk 1 and let's give that 12 gig. So that's 12,000. Okay. And one more new and then let's create disk 2. Okay, and then 12,000, that's equal to 12 gig and click OK. Okay, so now pretty much we allocated everything, right? Okay, that's good. Now click next and then click next here and then here let's edit the network devices and then let's go for the manual configuration and enter IP address 192.168.50.55 and then in the net mask let's enter 255.255.255.0 and then uncheck this enable IPv6 support and then click OK and then let's configure the host name. Now let's call this host name as linux.oracle and then click next. It says we didn't provide the gateway, so click continue. We didn't provide the primary DNS, continue and then select the time zone. Since I am on Eastern time zone, I selected America/New York. If you are in India or Europe or any other region, select the appropriate time zone and then click next. Here enter the root password. Remember this root password. This is pretty important. Okay. Okay. Next. Okay. So now it's retrieving the installation information and then here select everything and then here click on customize now. Click next. Select both of them. You see I pressed the shift key and I selected both of them. Right click and then I said select all optional packages. So you need to click shift and then select both of them. Okay, and then right click and then select all optional packages and then let's go to the applications and then press Ctrl A so that you select everything. Right click and then say select all optional packages. So now go to development, go here and press Ctrl A and right click, select all optional packages. Go to servers and then Ctrl A, right click and then select all optional packages. Base system, Ctrl A, right click, select all optional packages, cluster storage. Okay, select that one, right click, select all optional packages, clustering, select that, select all optional packages, virtualization, select it, right click, select all optional packages. Okay, languages we can leave that. Okay, so we have selected pretty much everything. Okay, so now click next. So now it is checking the dependencies. So it takes some time to check the dependencies and then the installation will start. Now click next. So now the actual installation is starting. So the installation is going on. This will take at least an hour to finish because we selected almost all the packages. It will take a while. Here it is saying remaining time is 25 minutes. That's good. So depending upon the speed of your computer or laptop, it can vary. And again, the time is varying between 25 to 30 minutes. Even if you see it for an hour, that's okay. Okay, let it take its own time and install the software. Another 8 more minutes to go. 2 more minutes to go. So the installation is almost complete. So it's performing post install configuration. Now it's installing the bootloader. Okay, done. We have successfully installed the Linux operating system, right? Now let's go and reboot the system. So the Linux operating system is being rebooted. So press any key, press enter. It's starting. It's starting all the process. Click forward, accept the license agreement. Click forward, click forward. Set the time. So January 21st time. Okay, good. If you want to change it, you can change it. Forward. So now if you want, you can create a new user for your regular purposes. Okay, so I am creating a user called training. I'll just give the same name, training, password. Okay, forward, forward. Okay, I don't have any additional CDs, so finish. Now let's log in. Okay, so the username is root, and then the password is whatever the password which you have entered while installing the software. And now I'm logging into Linux. Okay, here you go. We have successfully logged into Linux. Now let's go to the terminal. So right click and say open terminal. This is the character user interface where we can type the commands. Okay, most of the time in the Linux environment you will be using the character user interface to run your commands. Let's use the command df-h to find out whether the disk allocation has been done as needed. Okay, everything looks good. So now let's install some files necessary for the Linux operating system. Okay, so I go to VM. Here I say install VMware tools. Okay, and here you see this, it's a zip file. Okay, now I right click on the zip file and say extract to, and then it's extracting into the folder desktop, which is fine. So click on extract. So now it's extracting all the files to desktop. The extraction has been completed. So let me close this. Okay, let me minimize this, and you see it has extracted into this folder. So I will open this folder and then click on this install. So run in terminal. Okay, so now the installation is starting. So let me press enter, again enter, enter. enter, 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 press enter, enter again, enter again, enter again, press enter. The installation is successfully completed. Okay, let's try to restart the operating system. Okay, so let's go here, right click and say power off. So power off. So now we are switching off the operating system. Okay, it's successfully switched off. Now let's power on the virtual machine. So that means now we are starting the Linux operating system. Most of this work is done by the Linux administrators. Since we don't have Linux administrators with us, we are installing, right? Otherwise, in the organizations or in your office, the Linux administrator would be doing most of this work. He will set up the entire Linux. Only from installing the database, that is where your work starts. Okay? Okay, entering the user root and then the password, and it is logging in. Okay, that's good. So we have successfully installed the Linux operating system, including the necessary tools to install our Oracle database. In the next session, we will start installing the Oracle database. Okay.